Hello, everyone. Hope you can hear me, see me. Pull it up a little closer here. Okay, cool. There's an artist, Jon Bogdanove. He used to draw Power Pack, and then he drew this incredible series, X-Men versus Fantastic Four, or was it Fantastic Four versus X-Men? I believe it was, yeah, X-Men versus Fantastic Four, because they were the more popular at that time, at least. Terry Austin inked it, and it really showed off his art really, really well. Terry Austin really brought it out of him, and the story told well by Chris Claremont. I'm going to go through a number of his drawings here and just chat with you guys, whoever's out there. So let me go through this. Look at this. It's really, really good. It's Reed Richards dressed up as Doctor Doom underneath the costume. You got Wolverine drawn really well. A little Burn style there because of the Terry Austin inks. You got Franklin crying because his mom's dead. And the evil Reed Richards in this nightmare is laughing at Franklin for crying over his dead mother. Pretty wild. Let me just go check this out. This is I guess Bogdanove had a series called Strongman. Strongman. That it's his copyright. I don't know what it is, but it looks damn good, that's for sure. It's interesting also, you got all this texture, you got all this detail here, and then for the body, it's just simple line work. No shading, no under thick lines like the way Gary Martin taught us in his ink books. In his inking books, like wherever the light is, the underneath is a little thicker or thicker on there, and so on. This is just pure line work here. Interesting. Doesn't really fit necessarily with what's going on here, though. It looks like it's slapped on, like those old the stickers. Like Trevor, Skull Trevor, like those old sticker things. I forgot what they were. Remember, like they had it for superheroes also. You open these little books in plastic, like plastic shiny cover, and you add these stickers on there. Not stickers, actually, just things that stick onto them. They're not stickers, but that's what it looks like here. It's a hell of a drawing, but I think it's undermined by the fact that this figure looks like it doesn't quite belong there. It's like on those things, like in the movies, where like in the Superman things, where Christopher Reeve, he looked pretty bad across against the screen at times. At times looked great, other times looked bad. Chris Reeve as Superman. But man, that's a hell of a drawing, and I gotta find that out. Strongman by Jon Bogdanove. I don't know. Let me just go look at it quick and see what's there. Jon Bogdanove. Bogdanove. I think that's how you pronounce it. Bogdanove Strongman. Jon Bogdanove Strongman. I don't know. Sometimes you got these guys, right? These guys who come from comics, big guys and whatnot, and he's very liberal. But Bogdanove, I had some interaction with him on Facebook years ago. I was like, oof. I mean, he was all in for Obama and all that bullshit, but he's a hell of an artist. Yeah, but sometimes these guys, they don't fund, or they only get to a certain point and then they give it up. It's like, hey man, you got to keep going. Just because you didn't get the exact result you wanted, you do have some kind of following. You should keep going. At least that's what I think. But this is his take on clearly on Miller's Batman. It's not that good, actually. That face is a little wonky. Also, snort, grunt, grr. I guess he's mocking it to some extent. It's pretty cool, but I guess they Darwin Cook made Wonder Woman taller than a Superman, so I guess they wanted to keep that going. It doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. Yeah, she's an Amazon, but he's Superman. You know, she should look up to him. It's a good drawing, though. It's really good. A little different than his Superman run. His Superman there looks a little different. She looks great, Wonder Woman. It's a very good Wonder Woman. I guess this is some kind of commission, probably. Superman versus Doomsday, which he drew one of the final ones. I think he drew the second to last one. That Dan Jurgens ended up doing the final one with the full page spread. This is pretty damn good, guys. Jor-El holding Kal-El for the last time before he sent him off to Earth. That's pretty damn good. Very, very effective. This is the cover of this video. Solid Superman. A little like Jerry Ordway. Hey, comic books and goods. But just, nicely done. Brett Breeding inked it. That's a good Superman face. I don't remember Bogdanove inking much, but when he does, he's really damn good. That's a strong Batman. I like the teeth, the lips wrapped around the teeth. That's very cool. Para Pablo Mayores Marcialago Deseos. I'm not sure. This is really good. Good inking by him also. That's a really good inking. I like it a lot. I think this is his character, Strongman, I think. I might be wrong, but it looks like... I like that squared off elbow right there. A touch of Jose Luis Garcia Lopez comic book in cahoots says. I wouldn't have thought of that, but yeah, I mean, I can see it. This is really good here. Bogdanove and Dan Green. That's a hell of a Hobgoblin. That's so damn good. Good Spider-Man. But that Hobgoblin's great. Overlap head over title. I think these are different. And then here is just a comic book that Bogdanove drew. And I believe Dan Green inked. Adventures in Reading, starring the Amazing Spider-Man. Spidey travels through time and space in the battle against illiteracy. That's a pretty fun-looking Spider-Man. But then I think this was a Power Pack issue, if I'm not mistaken. It's a great shot here. It's very cool. Also, check it out. Looking up, right? There's Spider-Man. And then you look even higher, and there's a Hobgoblin. That's pretty damn good. And it's a really interesting looking eyes there that Bogdanove drew for Spider-Man. He makes a hell of a Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin's something about him. He's still an effective villain. Look at his cartooning here by Bogdanove. That's really good. Look at that. The big mitts on the guys. That stance is hilarious. Look at that. The extra little detail there with the gum. I like it a lot. Big hands, a little fight there. Interesting color too here, guys. It's very different than your average comic back then. Goody Two Shoe says, I'm a huge Superman fan. Bogdanove was great reading too. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, both of them were great. I think Brett Breeding inked some Ron Friends. What was it? Was it Ron Friends and Brett Breeding who drew the Superman annual that John Byrne wrote with a big ape? If I'm not mistaken, a pretty damn good. The splash page was pretty damn good. It's interesting here with the color. It is the black costume, but the bulk of it was made black by the colorist, not by the inks. If you notice, the bulk of the black was made by the colorist, and I like he made the outline of the eyes still, even though it's supposed to be all black. But it's very, very cool. The detail is great. The action's great. Very, very cartoony. Um, okay, this is weird. Why is it not working? I can't go to the next page. Okay. I guess I'm going to have to do it that way. It's very, very strange. I don't know. But look at that. Very, very effective. He's grabbing these two kids while they're fighting, and they're still, it's a hobgoblin. I've seen him in the papers, so smash him. Power. Use your beauty super strength on him. That's what I've been trying to tell you. I haven't got super strength. I guess he's trying to, Goody Two Shoes says, I think Breeding cut his teeth with Burn Superman. He was also, inking John Romita Jr. on Amazing Spider-Man in one issue with the Wrecking Crew. I think it was the Thunderball, if that's his name. That was interesting. I can't. I have to keep going back here. Okay, now for some reason it popped up again. Very, very strange. But that's a damn good pose for Spider-Man. Look at that, swinging up there, dodging the gun. Very, very cool. And good inking by Dan Green. He was always good. Good movement here, good action. Look at this, guys. That's very, very cool. Hello out there. How are you? He had real fun drawing the Hobgoblin. I mean, a lot of character. Look at that. Look at that mask. Well, observe this. Your friend fell because you tried that stupid trick. He goes, he's dead because I was scared because I didn't have the guts to stop the Hobgoblin for real. And the Spider-Man saves him. Yo, Spider-Man, oh, Crush. We thought you was dead. Difference of Hobgoblin. He was dangerous as hell. He was a killer. Smart. He was smart. Another good pose on Spider-Man. Very strong. The kid's trying to help out with Hobgoblin. Trying to make him blind. That's very expressive right there. Look at the eyes. Slightly different there. And it is, I guess, at this point, it is it's probably just a black suit. Or could be alien suit. I don't know yet, because I don't know when this was. Probably the 80s, but I can't say for sure, but likely. Then he uses power here. It looks like he uses power. The kid. Creepy little mutant brat. What did you do to my glider? He destroys glider. I'm going to demolish you to the kid. And Spider-Man comes and taps him. I believe this dance is mine. Thank you, no. And he was quick on his feet. It looks like he dodged it, and he goes, I prefer a partner who's lighter on his feet. So he kicks the kid off the building, knowing that Spider-Man's going to go get him so he can escape. Again, he's dangerous, smart. When he was written by Roger Stern, at least, and here this is pretty good. I don't know who wrote this, but that whole storyline was great with the Hobgoblin. It really worked. I'll just keep a certain drawing on here. I think this is really effective here. I love that Jor-El with baby Kal-El. That's pretty awesome. I just want to pop in here for a few guys. Goody Two Shoes says, in your opinion, Bosch, is style dying in modern comics? Is style dying in modern comics? A lot of individuality, I think, is dying. I think people are trying to look like everyone else, unfortunately. It's like everyone's trying to be someone else. I think that's what's going on in a lot of ways. Not a lot of expressivity, not a lot of individuality. It's like yeah, comic books and hoots. Hobgoblin was a real rotten fucker. Great villain. Dangerous, smart, very manipulative. You know, having guys wear his suit, killing them. Just for the hell of it, almost. Um, Pretty wild. And then we ended up finding out who he is years later. Roderick Kingsley, fashion mogul, which is very interesting. Um, but it was good, good stuff written by Roger Stern, created by him. So yeah, Goody Two Shoes. I mean, it's like the music I like is it's only classified as alternative because they don't know where else to fit it. But the reason why I think they classify as alternative is it's unclassifiable. It's more individualistic than your average pop music being played on the radio. It's artists who have their own voice, they have their own style, they want to express it. Um, and sometimes the audience has to follow them. They don't follow the audience. And I think that's what's happening today, maybe in some ways. People are following the audience, trying to second guess what they like or don't like. That's not good because there's no one, kicking ass to the point where forcing us to go buy mainstream comics now. There's nobody out there that we say, man, we gotta see this new guy. He's really doing a great job on that title or that title. It's not happening. When Frank Miller hit, that was a big deal. Especially when he was writing it. I mean, his Daredevil run was fine, but when he started writing it, that's when it was like, holy shit, this is great. This is great stuff. Byrne, when he hit X-Men, the Uncanny X-Men, you knew, even that first issue, even though it was not as good as his later ones, you knew, like, wait a minute, this is something very different than Cockrum and flat out better and more fitting on the X-Men. Cockrum, I think people pretend that that he was the real. It's like he was fine, he was good, but he wasn't Byrne. I mean, Byrne was. I think to this day, I still see him as the greatest X-Men artist of all time. I mean, I don't know anyone who has surpassed that. The Dark Phoenix saga, and even prior to that, it's that damn good. And Terry Austin just took his art and brought it to the next level. So yeah, in terms of style, personal style, individualistic style, probably Goody Two Shoes. I mean, if you're honest, if you're an honest artist, you're gonna clearly, naturally draw like nobody else because you're drawing like you. And since that's not necessarily happening, I think people are again trying to second guess what other people are doing, what the audience might like, and so on. That's not healthy. That's not healthy at all for any artist. Hey, Egon the Dragon Cock says, I know it's a bit blasphemous to say, and I love the original, but I love that Black Spidey costume almost more than the original. It's so damn good, Egon. It's like, again, it was such a brilliant design because it's instantly recognizable as Spider-Man. It's simple as all get out, and it's awesome. I mean, it's dramatic as hell. And if he wants to look creepy and wants to look dangerous, he can look more so in that suit than with the colorful one. I just love the fact that they went with something. They didn't just, make a slight change on the suit. They make completely. I mean, you got the, red and blue one, right? With the eyes, with all the webbings. And then you have no webbings, just the white, huge spider on his front and back, and the white eyes and a little white on his hands. So damn good. It's so damn good. It's a classic. Classic. Comic Books in Cahoots says Baby Suit Man being held by his father, lovingly sad and shadow, both symbol. It's awesome. It's so well drawn. It's a really great shadow. And it's just you know, you take it seriously. It's like, wow. I mean, you do think about it, what Jarrell had to go through, him and his wife. You know, I mean, if you take it seriously, it's like, wow. That's a heavy, heavy moment. In the movie, even Brando, as Jarrell, his voice broke a little when he's talking about what needs to be done. Also, Russell Crowe's Jarrell, I think Kara was that her name, and she doesn't want to let him go, and he's trying to be strong for both of them. You know, I don't know if you heard the who's going to be Jor-El in the Superman movie coming up, but I heard about it. If you want to know, ask me, or just I guess you could find out. Um, he played something. There was what's it called? The gemstones, the magnificent gemstones, not magnificent, something gemstones. The season premiere had the actor who's playing Jor-El in the opening, and it was a really good episode. It was such a good episode that it makes you think like, damn, you want to stay in that guy's orbit, in that guy's world, more so than his family later on. So that was interesting. I think he'll do fine. Um, I'm still looking forward to Superman. I'm still looking forward to it. I don't know what they're doing with the with the promotion. I don't know what they're doing with certain things. I know that he's a good filmmaker, James Gunn. I like the Guardians movies, and I think it's probably going to be good, but the promotion has not been great. It just hasn't. And the word is that I think it's Gunn trying to do it. It's like, nah, I don't think. I think you should get some crew who is very good on that. That's it. Focus on making a movie and have some people who can promote it greatly in a great way. Egon Dragoncock says that also, I keep forgetting, I got my Pigman art last week. Just need to find a spot to hang it. Thanks, man. Thanks for getting it. Appreciate Egon. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's the one with the original art with, what do you call it? America Akbar. That one. Thanks for getting it. Appreciate it. And by the way, guys, if anyone's interested here, you let me know. I do have an original art here. I did it last week when I heard the news that Val Kilmer died. This is a drawing of Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday. If anyone's interested, let me know. Just ping me, give me an offer, and I can part with it. It was a hell of a performance by Val Kilmer. I just rewatched The Good, Bad, and the Ugly the other day. It's fantastic. It's so damn good. And I'm probably going to watch Tombstone next. It's just so damn good. So yeah, if you're interested, guys, just message me on X. That's probably the best place to do it, and give me an offer. I like the way it came out. Goody Two Shoes says, I just think the big two are scared of taking chances on style for sure because of image sales, commercialization. Yeah, they are scared. And comic books in cahoots. Yes, that's correct. I don't want to just say it out for people who don't know and maybe don't want to know. Excuse me. Sorry. I was on Kings for a few hours and I couldn't help but yawn here and there. I don't know. I try to get some sleep. I just can't get enough sleep really. Um, I've never been able to really. As James Dean said, sleep is a waste of time. It's not, but it's a fine line. Yeah, Goody Two Shoes. You have a guy like Jim Lee, and I know people suppose they love Jim Lee and all that. He sucks as an executive. I mean, he's terrible. What has he done since he's been the head of DC? He's given himself a cushy job to bring back Hush, right? Hush 2, whatever. Outside of that, anything strong, anything that has brought in readers? No. I think they're scared. They want to keep their jobs. They don't want to take any chances whatsoever. And if you're not willing to do that, you can't grow. You can't be worth. And you got Brevoort, Tom Brevoort, whatever his name is, and the old guy. They suck. These executives suck. They're not going to be like a Jim Shooter to bring in like a Frank Miller and to cultivate him and try to hit home the idea of story, 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 which he did. And I think Miller at one point even came to Jim Shooter's office and said, you know, I get it, because Jim Shooter understood without stories, we got nothing here, guys. He put the best people on the best titles, and it worked out beautifully. I would argue that it was even better than in the '60s, Shooter's '80s Marvel. It was that damn good. Comic Books and Goods says Lee has only managed the decline. That's for sure. He's done nothing great. Um, Nothing. I can't even remember the last time it was something like whoa, that's interesting. You got Tom Goddamn King writing everything. You have Mark Waid write everything. It's like all the main stuff. It's like, are you kidding me? These goddamn communists. We got communists writing superheroes. And also one thing about this hope thing for Superman. That's just bullshit. That's a modern revisionist stuff. I mean, it just is. We never thought about Superman as hope. No, he's a hardcore guy, superhero who fights evil. Truth, justice, American way. He's not some guy who just hope. And also one thing about hope. The Man of Steel version of Superman, that was hope. If that's hope, you know, God damn it, we're in trouble. If that's hope. And again, I like Man of Steel. I like Henry Cavill as Superman, but that wasn't a hopeful movie. He doesn't have it in him to be hopeful. Zack Snyder, he's always, you know, corny. He's always trying to be like edgy, like I'm real. As he put it once, like he was trying to dismiss Nolan's version of Batman to say that his version, when Bruce is in prison, he would have got raped. I was like, who wants to see that? Who? Nobody. It doesn't matter that it might happen in real life. You don't want to taint your character, Batman, like that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to have that stuck in your head. He was gang raped in prison. Why? Because Zack Snyder can't help himself. I think he is a nihilist. I think he thinks he has to be edgy to the core. And when he got his chance to do anything he wanted, remember, guys, Rebel Moon, where did that go? He has a 4-hour special edition something. Where did that go? I saw the trailer. That was enough for me. I know that these the quote unquote zeros had to watch it, and talk about it. It's like, why bother? Why bother? Comic Books and Cooch says Superman's struggle is to conquer himself and rise to his great potential. Yeah, it's not about hope. Hope, like, out of context, what hope? What? He's a hopeful character, yes. He's not a dark character. It doesn't work when he's dark. He is a benevolent superhero. He sees the good in people, absolutely, no doubt about it. But he also kicks ass. We can't forget that. Once you forget that, it's like you have a shitty Superman. He's all that, right? He's all good. He's all that, and he kicks ass. But they think it's like off character, off brand if he gets angry or something. I remember the Adventures of Superman, whatever it's called, the Superman the animated series. There's one moment when I forgot the guy's name, Turnip or something, the cop who was based on Jack Kirby, when Darkseid zapped him, right, with his Omega beams. Superman lost it. He absolutely lost it. I mean, he took this machine and just tore it to shreds, and he was enraged, and it was awesome to see. You got to see that sometimes. There was a moment in The Dark Knight 3, the Master Race, that Superman was taking on the bad guys, and Batman was watching him, and Batman made this observation like, he's been holding back. He's always been holding back. It just hit him like, wow. He was impressed also, Batman. Some good moments in that third part, by the way. It's worth reading, especially the ending, because it sets up a potential interesting story for part 4, but I don't think it's going to happen at this point. That was a number. Turpin. Thanks, Comic Books and Coots. That was fun, that series. And the 1-2-parter with Batman and Superman was fantastic. Really, really good. Well written, well drawn, well designed. Then they had the updated version of the Batman with the all black, which is the black bat, the black suit, no blue, no oval yellow, none of that bullshit. It looked solid, and the Bruce Wayne will also look solid. The Joker looked little, very stylized but interesting. He just had a black dots for eyes. Remember that? Hey, Alpha Channel, how's it going? No apologies, man. You're here. You're here. Cool. I'm just checking out some art from Jon Bogdanove, and I just want to talk, chat for a bit. I got to get going soon, but Egon Drancock says Zack Snyder is retard. He is, who thinks he's deep and introspective, but only really understands aesthetics. 100%. He's stupid. Try to sit through an interview with him. Just try. It's almost impossible. He's not bright. He tries to be edgy. He's not at all. And it's all about the cool shots, bro. I got some cool shots, bro. That's a, Hill, Mikey. JC, the Fleischers studio animated Superman is the best Superman. It's fantastic. His movement, his struggles, the way, when it was a huge laser happening. He had to go around it. When he gets hit, he coughs and spins around, and it was so damn well done, so well done. And you know what? They supposedly released a high quality remastered version. Nah. I want a real one that looks great, because they had that for the Mask of the Phantasm. It was not a remastered. It was just something, because you look at it, it's like the quality's not. Now the story's great. I love that movie. I think it's good. I think they should make a like a live action version of that. I mean, absolutely, it's that damn good. But which also I think stole a little from Mike W. Barr's Batman year two. Goody Two Shoe says, in my opinion, if Comicsgate was commercial backed and had a few editors, they would be unprecedented. Look at the talent: Lepresti, Bosch, EVS, Davis, Malin, Smith, Lawless, Sedgwick, so many styles. A lot of different styles. That's for sure. Good Two Shoes. In the mainstream, we don't have that, but here we absolutely have that. We're all different. I mean, every single last one of us. That's pretty damn cool. You know, that's for sure. Very different, each of us. Um, I appreciate that. Uh, Good mentioning it, because you're right. Jay says the stupid guy sounds like me. I don't know who you're talking about. The stupid guy. Egon Drancock says Snyder's. Oh, you mean the guy in the Superman cartoon? Or no, the guy with the hat? uh, Egon the Dragoncock says Snyder's DCU was all based on DK. Yeah, Dark Knight Returns, but you fundamentally miss it. He does. He don't get it. It's so stupid. Oh my God. Also, one thing, guys, we have how many years at that point? That was in the 80s. So we had 50 plus years of Superman and Batman comics. Of They know each other. They've, been suspicious of each other, but never enemies. They were allies, right? Justice League and all that. And then that projects it 20 years into the future from that point, even. So there's a relationship that's been established already. The dummy, Zack Snyder, throws Superman in there, and then Batman's been there for 20 years. It's like, okay, that doesn't really work. And then Batman's reaction is to kill him because he's suspicious of the possibility that he might do something. It's like, Superman has shown nothing but that. And then the world was talking about him being a symbol of hope. It's like, was he? Not the way Zack Snyder made it. That was just rhetoric, him using hope. Because he didn't make him to a hopeful character. He was an angst-ridden. He was, and again, it's so sad because I think Henry Cavill would have made a great Superman in a positive, like a benevolent Superman. He would have been great. But, Zack Snyder. And still, guys, we still got probably a better movie than it would have been if Christopher Nolan wasn't there to keep him in check. Because for sure he was. I mean, he was like, nah, nah, you're gonna pull back because we know now that when he goes all the way on his own, he does really the worst movies possible, the worst. Um, Egon Dreadcock says there was no hope for Paul Kent. Well, yeah, you know, I think I fell into the idea of watching it because I liked Man of Steel. I liked it. Did Pa Kent have to do that way? No, I think Clark could have went so fast and got him, and no one would have thought twice. But his father, they were convinced that his father, was terrified about what's going to happen to his son if the government gets hold of him. You know, yeah, Egon. Yep, I think Cavill would have been a great Superman too. He seems to get it. He does. He does get it. I think he's a good guy. I think the fact that we don't know where he stands politically is we know where he stands politically. Usually that's the case with actors. He said nothing that has led us believe he's anything other than a decent guy, probably politically, you know, rational. Um, and I hope he does well with Highlander. That's the word he's doing Highlander with the director of um, John. What the hell? Um, Keanu Reeves. What the hell? I forgot the name completely. John Wish? Not Wish. What the hell, guys? I own the movie, so let's see. John Wick. God damn it. He's playing Highlander, and I'm looking forward to that. And I think he's playing McLeod as well, which is good. Um, and also he's playing something having to do with video games. 4,000 something. Yeah, John Wick. I finally got it after I looked at it actually. Um, Al Pacino says the powers that be fear empowered characters like Superman. They do. They don't know what to do with them, and that's one reason why I think, um, you know, James Gunn is taking pains to try to start off the movie, which it looks like it's at the beginning of the movie, to show that he can be hurt. I understand the resistance to that, but I like it because it's like the problem that every writer says when they're asked about Superman, like they always talk about the fact that they turn down writing Superman, they turn down this because he's too powerful. It's like you're too stupid. Are you a creative writer or are you not? You get him where it hurts the most in the heart. You deal with him on an emotional level. You deal with hurting the ones he loves and so on. That's how you get to him. That's how you hurt him. Kryptonite and all that, sure. This one he gets his ass kicked somehow, some way. Clearly, broken bones all over, and he has to be healed by his and probably crypto even added to that in the intro in the 5 minute thing. And I like the idea at least that James Gunn's trying to say, okay, not that this Superman is vulnerable, but he doesn't have to be this overpowered, impossible to hurt superhero. He can be hurt, and we see him hurt in the opening. So again, I still have hope that it'll be good, but we will see. There's the word is that the Justice League or whatever they're called in there, they're not that big a factor in there. That Luther is really evil. I like that, um, and that Lois and it's like it's starting a little into the story. Lois and Clark, I think, are dating. Superman's fairly new to the world. It takes away the idea that he's the first superhero though. I'm a little off about that, but we'll see. The actor looks like he comes off like a good guy, comes off like charismatic. He comes off he's tall, he's 6'4". He's probably the biggest Superman since Chris Reeve. That suit does him no real favors, as in the guy busted his ass to get in great Superman shape, and they covered up by this baggy, I don't know what kind of material it is. It does him no favors. It doesn't show off his body, his build. That's a shame. But I'm gonna go watch it, and I hope for the best. Alpha Channel, okay. Warhammer, yes, that's what he's doing supposedly. He's a big Warhammer fan, and that franchise is implicitly pro-Western, pro-white. Uh, pro-white. I don't like that bullshit. I know people fall into it because, like, since black privilege, BLM, and all that, pro-white. It doesn't mean shit. I mean, skin doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't. I don't care what people want to pretend it does. It doesn't. It's not about that. You know, it is the West. Western civilization. It's not about race. It's not about skin color. Negative or positive, meaning white good, black not good, or black good, white not good. It's retarded. It flat out is. I just think it's we shouldn't fall into that because it's just not. It's meaningless. Skin color doesn't mean shit. The only thing it means is that I can get burned maybe in the sun more so than others. I have a little lighter skin and so on, but that's about it. That's the only meaning it has for me. Alpha Challenge said Lois and Clark work perfectly. They challenge him not to overpower his enemies. Yes, exactly. Challenge him not to overpower his enemies. There's also, remember the Parasite. The Parasite is a very interesting villain, and especially in the animated version of Superman. Superman the animated series, I think that's what it's called. Really damn good. He was such a creepy, disgusting character, like a parasite. Jim Shooter created him, by the way, when he was a kid, and he used to draw the pages for the artist for his scripts. Pretty damn cool. I mean, pretty damn cool. Even for Kurt Swan, and supposedly they appreciated it. Interesting. But he was such a damn good villain, and the bad guy in there. Remember the opening of Blade Runner, that first, whatever they were called. I forget what they were called, but like the androids, right? The first guy that he fights with, Decker, and that actor played the Parasite in the Superman animated series, and he was so damn good. His delivery was so cold and monstrous, and he wants to suck the energy. He basically kept Superman prisoner in his place, went back to him to get power and go out and do his dirty work and come back every so often. He wanted to do that in perpetuity. That was his plan, and really, really good. It was well written. That series was good. Malcolm McDowell played another guy with the Kryptonite Heart, if you remember. Pretty damn good. Wingus Dingus. Hey, Wingus Dingus. Do you have any Superman run stories that you like in particular? Never got into Superman much, but I do want to at some point. I mean, the Man of Steel, Burns. I liked it. It was not Dark Knight. It wasn't like, holy shit, he changed them. No. Whatever reason, I don't know what happened. The hype was there, but that's about it. When it came, it was like, okay, it's okay. Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. did Superman Year One. Moments are pretty good, but overall, I have the absolute All-Star Superman. I think that's one of the better ones, if not the best. I mean, the closest to that Superman has is something that's like, wow, this is really good. It's very, very thoughtful, very respectful of the source material, of the past, of the lore. Grant Morrison, Frank Whiteley. Some issues are better than others, but it's really good. I mean, when it's good, it's really good. When it's not, it's not. But the parasite's in there also, and it's in a hell of an interesting way that Frank Whiteley draws a parasite. My God, you got to see it. It's brilliant, actually. And he's a great artist. His face would get a little fucked up at times. It looked like him, actually. He made Superman look like him sometimes. I guess he used himself as reference. Don't do that. Don't do that, Frank. But it's pretty damn good. I know that the Alan Moore stories or ever. Alan Moore, I really believe this. I believe he did that. Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, I think, with Kurt Swan. And as always is a case, I think George Perez inked that for one issue, maybe two, and then he got a different inker for that. He just can't keep it going. He did the same thing with Hobgoblin over Ron Frenz. He inked one issue, and that was it. But Moore, I believe he wrapped his entire story. That's just my assumption. I believe he wrapped his entire story around Superman crying in the Fortress of Solitude. I believe that's what it was because that's the only thing I remember about it, and I think he wanted to get that point across. Like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna bring Superman down, and I don't, I think some of these British writers, I think, had that in mind. There was the British invasion in mainstream comics, American superheroes, and they did them dirty in a lot of ways. Um, I know Mark Millar did this dirty thing about it was the Authority, where they had an Avengers type group where one of the guys, like Captain America, like a stand-in, raped one of the gay heroes in the Authority. You know, it's deviant stuff, man. Really, really dirty. Um, and they, of course, allowed it, and that's just the way it is. But it's like you knew that was like a Captain America. That was a stand-in for Captain America. Filthy. I think now. I think Millar. I remember Millar doing interviews years ago. He came off like a communist, flat out communist. He seems a little more reasonable right now. He seems a little more. I don't know. I wouldn't say right wing per se, but traditional. That's how he comes off. I don't know. Um, he said he's doing a real controversial thing with John Romita Jr. next, and then they announced something like Kick Ass with Wolverine. I don't think I don't know. That's controversial. I don't know. Do an anti-jihad superhero like Pigman? Oh yeah, I'd be there. Absolutely. Um, you guys talking about recommendations for Superman? JEC, when people say God Emperor Trump, that's a Warhammer 40K reference. Okay, funny. Superman's a great character, and any writer who says, "Oh, he's invulnerable," they're shit writers. Use your goddamn imagination. Look at the character. Look at him from day one, where he was. Look at him his best stories, whatever they are. Look at him in the Dark Knight and so on, and build it from there. Um, you can make him sympathetic. You can make him hurt. You can do that. Look at Superman, the original movie. Um, he saves everything, right? But he loses Lois to Lex Luthor. I mean, Lex Luthor, his actions ended up killing Lois. That's how you hurt Superman. And he snapped. And he became his own man. He rejected Jor-El and that whole crew and said, "Nah, I've done everything you wanted. I can't let this go. I can't let her die. I have to do something about it. It is forbidden." And he goes, "Sure, it's forbidden." That's awesome. He becomes his own man there. However hokey, whatever people say, "Oh, that's kind of," yeah, it's fantasy, guys. It's superhero, and it's something that I think while you're watching, think about this: you're in that theater for the first time ever. I didn't get a chance to see it in the theater. I would have loved to, but you're in the theater and you're watching it, and you've seen this great movie. It's like, wow, for its time, it was incredible the way they made him look like he was flying. He actually looked like he was flying. When they said you will believe a man can fly, they meant it. They actually pulled it off most of the time. And then you're watching it, and in your mind, well, Superman's going to save the day. Cool, And then you realize she's dead. She's actually dead. Superman didn't save her. That must have been a gut punch to the entire audience in there, old and young. And you don't know. This is the movie version, right? You don't know that he can turn, back time and all that. No, you just think at that moment, she's dead. Wow. It's a shocker. And then Superman rejects it. He goes, "No, I got all this power. I'm going to use it. That's it. I got to have something for me, at least. Okay. And people could call it selfish. Fine. Give the man his due. At least give him the woman he loves. He's done everything else. He lives a solitary life and all that. And, so I thought, that was incredibly powerful. And it was written by Mario Puzo, who wrote The Godfather. Think about that. I mean, that's amazing to me. It's amazing. Um, Egon Dragoncock says, I think Dark Knight 3 and Superman Year 1 is Miller trying to change the idea that he has disdain for Superman. I think so too, Egon. I think you're absolutely right. I think he feels a little guilty about it because he was very stupid over the years about it. Also, when he was asked about it not that long ago, I think a little before the Superman 1, he was like, yeah, Superman's like, I can fly and you can't. Huh? It's like, what? What are you, 5? It's like, are you kidding me? That's a stupid, dumb reason. Um, but I think you're right. He knows that he did him dirty, uh, and it was his chance to at least redeem, himself more so than Superman, redeem himself because Superman's a great character. You don't fuck with him like that, and he did fuck with him, made him look weak, and very cynical. Miller was very cynical. But yeah, I think he did try to show out like, nah, man, I'm okay, huh? Not just that Superman's okay. I'm okay, right? I don't know, Frank. I don't know. Where are you? You still alive? What's up, bro? Where are your comics? Where are they? JEC says, I have a giant nostalgic soft spot for the Reign of Superman. Your mileage might vary, though. I think I remember the Reign of Superman. I didn't necessarily care for Red Sun because it was I think Mark Millar at a time when I believe he identified as a commie or something like that, right? Let's make Superman a communist, yeah. Let's make him land there instead. And of course, at least from what I remember, he still retains his nobility, his goodness, regardless. And I like that, if that's what it was, because I think I remember that is what it was, regardless of the kind of corruption. He was still Superman. Apple Channel says, they being those who define white people as their enemies, you can call them brainwashed if you like. Well, yeah, I mean, those who, vilify white people, they're racist fucks. That's what they are. I just don't like us trying to have this badge of honor. Like, yeah, I'm proud of my whiteness. I don't give a fuck about my skin color at all. Not yours, not anyone's. It doesn't matter. Those for whom skin color does matter are racists, whether quote unquote positive or quote unquote negative, meaning my skin color good, your skin color bad, you're evil, and this and that, or even the self-loathing whites. Ugh, my skin color, ugh, it's disgusting. Yours is better. It's disgusting. It's self-loathing. It's not good. So those who try to impose that shit and try to bring importance to skin color, they're racists. Those try to bring any kind of good or bad to any race. They're racist, and they're the ones who have to be fought. And I have noticed some on the right trying to, oh yeah, white's bad, white's good. It's like, nah, you're falling into that. It's just stupid. Goody Two Shoes says, Wingenzingus, any Stern written 70s is good, wordy but good. Burns 80s reboot was good. 88 to 94 War World into Death of Superman. You got on Dragon Cock. I think the Burns Superman run post Crisis was good. It was good. It just wasn't as impactful as I think it should have been. It could have been. Personally speaking, I just don't think he had it in him. The story wise, really, Miller, redefined Batman in a lot of ways. He brought back, that dark version and even added to it. Whereas Burns Superman, it was okay. It was. I'm trying to think. The most memorable part. It was issue 21 of Action Comics or Superman. It was like 2-part story with Zod and the other two. and they took out Earth too. They wiped out, I think, billions of people. It's hard to believe, but I think that's what they did. And Superman puts them down. He puts them down, um, and he has a tear in his eye, but he puts them down. And that's interesting. Uh, it's interesting. That was a strong thing. The other stuff, I don't know. And then Carl Kessel, I don't think he was the right anchor for him. I just don't think so. I think Byrne was a better anchor when he started, because Dick Giordano was inking the Action Comics, and then Byrne started inking the Action Comics. It looked a lot better when he inked it. Um, Terry also inked the first few issues, and then it was Carl Kessel. Too set in his ways, Carl Kessel. You saw the same repeated lines on the body, on the inking. It was like not that good. It didn't really fit Byrne. It was too, I don't know, segmented. I don't know how. I don't know, regimented, almost like too set in its ways. It needed a little more breathing space, a little more natural line work. Byrne was a better inker for himself, I think, than Carl Kessel was on him. Um, JEC says Millard just had a book come out with Narwhal. Yeah, I heard about that. Goody Two Shoes, 70s Supergirl by Carmine Infantino is great too. I wouldn't know. I don't like Carmine Infantino. Um, Pancake faces for everyone. Why? Stretched out bodies and everything. Why? I don't know why. Egon Dragcock says, I agree, Bosch. When writers say they can't write Superman because they're overpowered, just shows they're unimaginative writers. 100%. It's just it's a cop out. It's a cop out. You can find a way. You can find a way. Goody Two Shoes, you hurt Superman by his mind because he's a Kansas forgiving Christian man. Yeah, you can hurt him by his mind, by his heart, by his emotions. Those things he values and loves. Comic book is in cahoots, where Superman saved Lois in a way he couldn't save Pa Kent earlier. Yeah, he didn't have the passion either to, and it's not that he doesn't love his father as much. It's just that I think he was learning, and it was unnatural, I think, also. But I think as a grown man, there's something about that kind of romantic love. Maybe this can make you do that. Think outside what is acceptable, maybe. But man, that was such a good movie, man. Glenn Ford played, Pa Kent. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good guy, Glenn Ford. He comes off as just a wholesome guy, good guy. Even though he played some tough characters back in the day, but he had that quality about him, that very just solid, you know, guy. JEC says Reign of the Superman was the storyline after the death of Superman. Yeah, the four Superman, right. Where you had the four fake Superman trying to take over the role of Superman. Was real into it when I was 8. Good story for an 8-year-old. I imagine it was, yeah. I just don't remember too much about it. You got the John Steele, that guy. The android Superman, Superboy, and then something else. And Superman came back with a mullet, which was the worst thing that ever happened to him. Not really, but goddamn mullet. It lasted for way too long too. It's like, what the hell? Super mullet. I just wanted to interact a little with you guys here. I appreciate you guys being here. When the comments started to drop off, I think I can just call it night, because I went through all the Jon Bogdanove art, which I really like. I mean, I keep adding to my files of these artists. I think it's really, really fun. Just to explore these things, and you find these interesting things on Comic Art Fans. I think Comic Art Fans, check it out, guys. You get a lot of commission art from artists: Frank Miller, John Romita Jr., Rick Leonardi, Dave Mazzucchelli, Jon Bogdanove, John Byrne. A lot of these artists did commissions, and you find them there. JEC says, if in Man of Steel, Superman tried to save Pa Kent instead of standing there and failed, it would have worked better. Gave him a better excuse to wander around being sad. Yeah, yeah. If he, right, right. If he at least try to go around and at least try to, but his father's like, you know, and he did a good job, Cavill. I mean, he really did. He really did. He was a great suit man. It's just it's a shame he didn't have that great script. He didn't have that competent director. Like Richard Donner. He just didn't have that, unfortunately. But there is one element here. I think Robert Meyer Burnett, blowhard. Oof, he's a blowhard, and he's some kind of goddamn objectivist leftist. Like what the fuck? Didn't That's funny. I'll be here for a little more. Goody two shoes. Just give me 1 second. He says he did make one observation, and it's true. I hate the word auteur, it's such a pretentious term, but let's just say this is the first time a Superman movie will have had a guy who wrote and directed it. That is true, out of the movies at least. That's there's a little more commitment there, a little more. That's interesting, and we'll see what that turns out to be. But he's a little more committed there, a little more engaged, let's just say, immersed in his own thing to make sure it's as good as it can be. But we'll see. It just has to be good. It has to be better than good though, because this is the first movie of the DCU, the DC universe, movie universe. DC. What do you call it? I think they just call it DC Universe. I think. Um, Goody Two Shoes. It didn't last way too long. The mullet. Alpha Channel. So I've got to rewind this one too to see the early drawings. Yeah, it's not that many. Alpha Channel, maybe a dozen, but they're really good. Travis Parrick, are you a Brayfogle fan? I didn't like Brayfogle years ago. I saw some stuff even recently. Pretty exciting, man. Um, I didn't like the rubber looking blue. I would have loved to have seen Brayfogle do the a black cowl and cape. The Maz Kelly style thing, of course, with his dynamic art. Um, it was hit or miss at times, but I loved the intent that he had to try to make it as exciting as he could for himself and for the audience. So on that, I did like what he was doing. I was able to look at some of the stuff recently. I haven't looked at it in years, but I remember at the time I didn't like it. It was like, oh, that's not Miller's version. That's not Matt Kelly's version. And you get stuck in the head like that. But it was a dynamic version, that's for sure. Exciting version. But again, I just hated that light blue, yellow, gray. It's like that's not a creature of the night. I don't know what the hell that is. And I mentioned that to I think John, and John likes that one, and I don't. I think it doesn't work for Batman at all. If you're gonna have anything, like have it like mostly black with some blue highlights, that's fine, you know. But all blue, nah, that doesn't work. Goody Two Shoes says, "Hell, Bosh, take a nap. You're great, dude. Thank you, Goody Two Shoes. I appreciate it." Um, Good Two Shoes says, "Brayfogle Batman seemed uninspired as a Batman artist, but I'm a mean guy." I get it, but I do see that he tried to give a lot of energy in there, a lot of dramatic images and the cape and the way he moved and the expressiveness with which he gave through the mask, even. But that light blue killed me. It killed me. It looked like remember like Fat Albert, the guy with like a bubblegum head. It looked like it was bubblegum, blue bubblegum all over his body. It was like that doesn't work at all. It's terrible. And again, the yellow, the gray, the light gray, and the light blue. Nah. Egon Dragcock, I don't trust James Gunn. I think he's overrated and full of himself in a bad way. With that said, I'm hoping he pulls off this Superman movie. I hear you, Egon. Um, I hear you. I don't know yet. I just don't. I know that he's made movies that I do like. He's made movies that I don't like. I didn't like that Super. I thought it was a vicious, mean movie. that guy, the guy from The Office, played this superhero. Or wasn't a superhero, just a nasty guy. You know, getting a crowbar in a guy's head in a movie line because they cut the line. That's heroic. No, it's just nasty. It's nihilistic. And that's supposed to be funny. It's not funny at all. And I guess what's her name was in there? The girl who now had become a man, which you can't, but I think she was in there. Um, Guardians, I liked. I like Guardians. I liked all three. You know, some more than others. Elements about it, but overall, they were a quality trilogy. Um, I don't know if he can do the heroic, meaning for Superman. I don't know if he can actually do Superman. I don't think he has it in him. If you ask me, you know, when I heard he was doing it, I was like, no, that's all wrong. I don't think he has the heroic in him the way he needs to be. The clean, direct, understanding of Superman. He tends to go quirky and, you know, a lot of people in the movie and all that. And, some stuff like doesn't really work. Like, you can't see Superman doing a dance off, like in Guardians with Star Lord. It's impossible. But I'm curious. I hope there is good humor, like in the old Superman movie. It's so funny. I remember with time, I saw that movie and then I saw Otis and I was like, oh God, this is so why? But he's funny. Otis is funny. He's actually funny. There's an Otis in this movie, of course, played by a black guy, of course. But is he funny is a question. And if he is, okay, good. Because Otis was funny, and you ask yourself, why the hell would this genius, criminal genius, be palling around with idiots? You know, does he need that kind of, contrast? Like, look at me, I'm so much smarter than this idiot. So what? It doesn't mean anything. Um, but Otis was funny. It's like that one moment where Lex Luthor puts him through all his, the fire and the guns and the ice. Remember that when he comes to Luthor's lair, and then he says, Luthor says, "Will you grab his cape?" And then he says, I don't think he wants me to." And also, the moment where they're talking right about all this stuff about Superman and this kryptonite thing, and before they actually meet Superman, and while they're talking about it, Lois like, that he's 6'4". You know that he's 6'4". It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how tall he is because he's just superpower. But it's just funny things like that. It's generally funny, and also Otisburg. That's funny. And putting the the number on his arm. Remember that? And his arm wasn't long enough. And Lex like, your arm wasn't long enough? I'll make sure it's long enough, And then next time you see Otis, he has a black eye. It's funny. Um, JEC says it is awesome if the black guy is Otis Redding. That's right. That's right. Okay, guys. I think I'm gonna call it a night. But thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Um, love comics, man. I love talking about these things. Also, I don't get a real much chance to be blunt. Um, so this is appreciated. Yes, comic book saying who is my attorney will contact you by the door. Hilarious. It is funny, generally funny. He had a lot of fun there. You could tell Gene Hackman. I mean, he was I mean, again, you never caught him acting. That's what I thought about after he died. You never caught him acting. He was such a natural, such a natural. Alpha Channel, good night. Guys, take care. Be well. Until next time, thank you very much for being here. And I will be on John's channel, John Malin, tomorrow night for issue 7 to 12, the second part of the Secret Wars review. And I believe Shane's coming in as well. And we might go at it in terms of the layouts. He doesn't think layouts are great, but I think they are. But yeah, so if you're a member, join us tomorrow night. I believe 9 p.m. Eastern. Take care, guys. Be well. Until next time. Good night. Hey, Jeremy. Good night, guys. Take care. Thank you. Uh, Back Pigman, guys. Back Pigman. Let me pull it up quick. I would really, really appreciate it. If you haven't, Back Pigman, Back Pigman. Check it out. I just passed 17,000. And, okay, cool. I was able to do this. Good. One second, guys. And back it if you haven't. I would really, really appreciate your support. I want to go into issue 2 with enough confidence that I can go into issue 3 and so on. So check it out, guys. I got a 9-page preview, 5 different covers, a number of rewards, and some write-up there also, guys. Check it out when you can. If you haven't backed it, please consider backing it. I would really appreciate your support. You guys take care. I just have to mention that quick. Thanks, Goody Two Shoes. Hail Pigman, Hail Bosch. Thank you very much. If you haven't backed it, guys, please consider backing it. I would really appreciate your support. You guys take care, be well, and again, join us tomorrow if you can on Jon's channel. It's a members only stream. I think last one was about 2 hours. This one probably be about 2 hours as well. Take care, guys. Be well. Thank you.